Lisa. I'm just going to be working with this 3-year-old Spotify here, just going through putting the tack on for the first time, making sure you do it in a safe manner and the manner that the horse understands. Okay, so with this horse, I've done all my groundwork beforehand, so I know I can move him around. I know I can keep myself safe and keep him safe. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do with him is I want to get my saddle blanket. When I put a saddle blanket on a horse for the first time, I want to put it on like I want to put it on for the 100th time or the 300th time. I just do it like normal. If the horse moves, the horse moves. I rather do it normal than try to put it on really slowly. So I literally just throw it over there. Okay, so we've done all the work so that he knows to stand still and deal with it before we even introduce it. Because I've used my hand, I've used the rope, I've used the flag. So when it comes to a saddle blanket, he's just like, oh yeah. And I want to make sure I put it on from both sides, because you're not always going to saddle your horse up from the same side. Then I go ahead and grab my roller. I've just got it over a fluffy blanket here because these rollers, they can push down on their withers too much. And when you're putting it on the horse for the first time, I like them to have a bit of padding there so they don't feel too restricted or they don't feel like they can't move through their back. That's why I put the extra padding. And again, I just want to throw that on like I would if he was older. I want to move the roller around on him, put it through the straps, put it through both straps to stop my blankets from sliding around. I want to be rubbing him where the girth is going to go so that I know he's going to be okay with that. You'll know I always keep that lead rope relatively short. Okay, so he feels pretty happy with me touching him all under his girth here. Again, we've done this with these horses from a very young age. Get my girth. As I move around, I can jingle that so that I know he's going to be okay with the noise of it before I even put it on. Again, I just rub. I reach under. And I do that up. So I've got my rope over my arm. I'm very quick at grabbing that if I need to. Okay, good. Now again, I've already done my groundwork with this horse, so I know I can move him off safely. Okay, so I just want to move him off safely. Okay. I've done it so that I know if he goes to bucking, I can move him out. So I know I can keep myself safe. Good. Just want him walking around the pen there. So as I'm walking him around here, I want to be looking at his body. I want to be looking for any communication that he's doing with me. Is he tense? He'll let me know that by putting his head up, or by being tense through his body, or maybe shooting off or stopping. He's happily walking around here. Good. He's looking a little bit worried about his surroundings, but he's all right. Okay. Now, we've already taught him how to safely change direction. Again, if anything happens, I've already taught him to move away from me. We're in a round pen, so there's not too much room, so that he doesn't drag me all over a school. Good. All right, so I've just stopped him here before I pop him up into a trot. I just want to make sure that that girth is tight enough that when he goes into a trot, if he goes to bronking, which is bucking, I don't want this moving around. So I do want to make sure that it's tight enough that it's going to stay put if need be. Again, I just want to move him off, so calmly, safely. Good boy. Again, I just want to let him feel that that girth is a bit tighter than it was. I don't just want to chase him straight into a trot. He might get a shock that the girth's so tight. He might anyway, but it's better to give him a chance. Okay, again, we're looking at his body language, making sure that he's calm and relaxed. Then we go ahead and trot him. Whoop. Good boy, good boy. There we go. Just want him traveling around the outside. Good. Good. All right. I'm going to pop him into a canter. Quite often when you go into the canter, that's when they start to react. And now he's cantering disunited there. At this stage, we just ignore it. That's better. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Hey, hey. Good boy. So you can see that he got a little bit more worried when he got into the canter, but he didn't do anything. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good lad. Okay, so he's just jumped into a canter there himself, that's fine. I just allow the forwards. If he needs to do forwards, that's fine. Good. I don't like to interfere with them too much here. Good. Good. Then he calms himself down. He starts looking to me again. Good boy. When I put a bridle on a young horse, I make it nice and loose to put on them. So that I don't have a fight about getting it over their ears. When I go to bridle a horse, ideally, I want them to drop their heads a little bit. Come on, mate.
What are you doing?
Just dropping his, I just want to drop his nose a little bit here, so that he's ready, so that I can reach his head. Good boy. It's quite a tall horse. These warm bloods are often quite tall and they like to keep their heads up quite high. Good boy. I just make a fuss of him now. Good boy. Oops. Good boy. Sometimes when you're bridling a young horse and he keeps putting his head up like this, rather than having my hand up high by his ears, I'll keep it on his nose. Then I can put the bridle in. And slip it over his ears. Again, I just want to remind him to keep his head down. So that needs a lot of work, so that I can bridle him with his head down. I leave the head collar on so that I can work on having his head down when I put his bridle on. And I've got something to hold on to if they try to move away while I'm doing it. Then I just go ahead and adjust that. When I do my reins, over and around themselves and through the throat lash. A lot of people put them over the head and twist them, but if you go on a young horse that goes to bucking, the reins will slide up and they can still get their foot through. Good boy. So I prefer that method. And then yeah, I just let him wear that for a bit, do a bit of groundwork until he's nice and happy with that in his mouth. So that's introducing the tack.